Yo, everybody, this is Mike from Edge Note 50 TV. What's happening? Hey, do you know what? This is the first time I'm doing like a midday show. Normally, I'm doing shows at 9 o'clock, 10 p.m. at night. But I thought, why not? Let's do a daytime show now. I said to you guys, I'm going to be doing more shows on the regs. So I'm just what I'm going to be doing. Hey, who's in the chat? Hello, Linda, Morris. How you doing? Yeah, so look, today this is the new people that are new to the show. This is a new format. I've been doing like 2 shows a week on Mondays and Thursdays, but now I'm going to be doing spontaneous shows as well. So as news is happening, I'm going to do a spontaneous show and I'm going to be talking about it. So what's happening today is we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be reviewing what happened last night. People that are maybe aware is obviously Andrade faced Akovov, and I'm going to go through the card. I'm going to be talking about what's happened. Andrade, talking about the Linares loss, which was a big shock. Also, I'm going to be talking about the future as well, because, you know, everyone knew that Andrade was going to win, but it was all about how he looked and all about where does he go from here. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So first up, let's look at, you know, what's happened on the card. So, you know, we had let's first of all, let's look at the undercard. I like looking at the undercard and talking about the prospects. So Rashid Matty, well done. He had a great first round win. And also as well, Nkosi Solomon, well done for him. He had a win. Now, people that don't know about Nkosi Solomon, he's a very good heavyweight US heavyweight prospect. He had his first debut in Chicago and he lost. So, and then after he lost, there was an interview that he had with IFL TV with Eddie Hearn. Well, let's just say it wasn't like a grilling, but it was kind of like, all right, if you lose your next match, your next fight, it's over. It's over for you. Literally, after one fight, his debut, he said, your next fight, if you lose, it's over. So literally, Nkosi Solomon was under intense pressure. Like, if he lost this fight, his career was over before it even begun, and he won. So I just say well done to him, because I think he's a good prospect, and I didn't want his career to go downhill. So I just think well done to him. He's like the up and coming, and you know we always like to talk about the big names, but it's also important to talk about the up and coming people as well. So Chris Algieri, you know, so also Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, she won first round body shot. And people that are people that know Amanda Serrano, she's going to be a future opponent for Katie Taylor. So that's going to be an interesting fight down the line as well. She did look impressive. What's that? Let's look at the chat. Linda Morris says, I didn't see Solomon's fight. I tuned in to cheer for him. Yeah. If you're from the UK, Linda, it's not going to be on Sky Sports. You have to get it on DAZN, or you have to find. Obviously, I can't. You know, you're not really supposed to endorse illegal streams, but if you're in the UK, that's the only way you're going to see these up and coming fights. Unfortunately, I don't know why Sky Sports don't show more of the card. I don't know if it's an agreement or anything like that. But yeah, okay, you're from New York. Okay, well, if you have the zone should have the whole card. So you should have all the card if you've got DAZN. Because part of the agreement with DAZN was what they've said is that as part of it, they will show the whole card from the undercards, the up and coming, all the way up to the main event. So I don't. So it should, if you've got DAZN and you've watched it, then it should have that fight on there. But I know for the people in the UK, we don't have that. So if we have to watch it, then we have to watch it that card from. You know, we have to go on via other means, let's just say, if we have to do that. So, but obviously, Nkosi Solomon looked much better than his first fight. He looked much better. He pretty much fought like his life depended on it. The third round, he was like fighting like he was literally winning a world title. He won it like it was this fight was his world championship fight for him, because his career was on the line. So I was very proud of him. I was happy for him, and I want to see him progress. And I'm interested to see where he goes from here. So I just hope that the pressure's off him a little bit now, and he can just go ahead, relax a little bit more, and show people what he's really capable of. So that's what I hope for him down the line. So Yeah, well done to him. Yeah, so let's talk about the main event. I'm sure that people want to hear about that. First off, before I talk about the main event, let's talk about Linares. Now, what happened here? This guy came out of nowhere. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't know who this guy was before he came on. I didn't have a clue. You know, like, uh, I just completely thought this was going to be a Linares win. His name was it Pablo Cano? They fought at what? This is the first time I think Linares has fought at 140, I think. And I didn't hit, and you know, this is the thing. These guys from Mexico, yeah, like these guys from Mexico, they're unknown. They fight a lot in Mexico, but you don't really hear of them. So because of that, it goes two ways. It's either they're dangerous or they're just flops. And this guy looks like the real deal. Like he hit like Linares, and Linares couldn't handle his power. This I don't know if it's like an anonymity, or this could be like this guy is the real deal. But you know, this has ruined like a lot of plans. Linares has ruined a lot of plans right now because the plan was for Linares to win this fight, look good, and then down the line it was supposed to be Morris Hooker versus Linares down the line. You know, in a main event down the line. That was the plan. However, that plan is completely mucked up right now, and I don't know where Linares is going to go from here. You know, Kano, it could be Kano versus Morris Hooker now down the line because Kano has made a statement. I don't know about you, but I've never seen anybody destroy someone like Linares like that before. He literally took him, he wiped him out. He's like, Kano went, Linares versus Hooker? Nah, that ain't happening. Let me just wipe this dude out and show people what I'm about. And that's what Kano did. He made a statement. I was impressed. You know, whether I don't know if Morris Hooker will want to face someone like that right now. It's like it's you know, it's high risk, low reward. I mean, does he want to go in with a guy like that with power in both hands? That's going to be a problem for him potentially. You know, if it was Morris Hooker, they might be thinking, actually, let's go another route. Let's go and fight another opponent, which is not going to be as dangerous as this guy. So this is very interesting. I like Linares. He's fought in the UK loads of times. And I like the guy. He fought Corolla. You know, so, you know, I think he was a good opponent. And I don't know if he's got any more left in the tank. He's going to be having to think now whether he's going to continue on fighting or whether he's going to go back down in weight or he's going to retire. So, but whatever he does, you know, he's had a great career and I wish him all the best. It was just a shock when I saw it and I wanted to see Linares versus Morris Hooker. But now I don't think this fight's going to happen and it's a shame. But yeah, it was a shock performance. But Kano, we have to keep an eye on this guy. Now he's done that. I'm presuming there's going to be some other fights for him down the line of the zone. So I'm going to keep an eye on this Kano guy. And I think you guys should keep an eye on him too. Because, you know, depending on how he looks in his next fight, this guy could be the real deal at 140. For real. So, all right. So let's go to the main event. The main event, Andrade versus Akavov. Now, people who don't know Akavov, he's the one that took Billy Joe Saunders to 12 rounds. However, Billy Joe Saunders wasn't at his best. But people still thought, you know, he gave him a good challenge. He went forward. He gave it a good fight. So this was supposed to be a bigger challenge for Andrade rather than the first fight he had. But, you know, so looking at this fight with Andrade, did he impress? Yes, he impressed. But did he impress enough? I don't know. It was a, you know, I think that Andrade went through the motions, and I think that because Akavov didn't help himself as well, because Akavov, once he realized he was out of his depth, he kind of, retreated. He was like, okay, I'm just going to survive 12 rounds. I'm not going to engage because I think if I engage, I'm going to get knocked out or something bad is going to happen. And I want to make sure that I look good, decent at least. And when you're in that mode of defensive mode, it's very hard for Andrade to do what he needs to do and get big wins. And that's the problem, because you know, you need a dancing partner. You need somebody who is going to willing to engage and take risks to bring out the best in Andrade. Because if you just go in defensive mode, then Andrade is just going to go into first gear and just rack up the wins, rack up the rounds, and that's all he's going to do. So Andrade, you know, did he look good? Yes, he looked good. But was it impressive? It was impressive, but was it impressive enough to impress, like, the, say, Canelos, you know, the Canelos, the Jacobs, the Triple Gs? I don't think they'll be impressed too much. And I think that they will fancy it if they Andrade. So looking at the pecking order right now, if I was looking at the middleweight division and I was going to rank it right now, you would have to rank Canelo number 1. Then you would rank Triple G number 2. The reason why I rank Triple G number 2 is because Triple G beat Jacobs. Yeah. And people say that it was a very close fight for him and Canelo. So I think them two are number 2, even though Jacobs has got the belt. Number 3 will be Jacobs. And then number 4 will be Andrade. But I think it's between Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders, which is where I'm going to get to in a bit. So I don't think he's done enough to impress. Based on that performance, can he beat someone like a Billy Joe Saunders? That's a big question as well for us to ask. So let's talk about the future, because the fight was just one-sided all the way through. He did get caught, like, you know, in the middle rounds, but it was nothing dangerous. He won and dominated it. So let's talk about the future now. He says he's going to destroy Triple G. He wants Triple G next. Now, as far as I'm aware, Triple G has not signed with a network yet. However, if I was Triple G, and if he's in the mindset of Triple G, then I'll presume that he's going to go on DAZN. So if that's the case, then there's a very good chance that if Triple G signs on to DAZN, he would want to fight Andrade next if he signs on to DAZN. Because Canelo and Jacobs, they're all taken up. And if Triple G comes back, I think he would want to go for a belt. And I think Andrade is a good fight for him. I think that Andrade needs a big step up now. I think he needs to fight someone like a Triple G, Billy Joe Saunders. He needs to fight a big name now to really push him and see what it's all about. We need to see if Andrade is the real deal at this division or not. And I think that those two fights will be the ones to do it. Now, Eddie Hearn did say afterwards, that in an interview afterwards, that he had a meeting with the WBO, and with them, he had a hint that they're going to reinstate Billy Joe Saunders as the number 1 mandatory, and that fight could be next for Andrade. So if that's the case, then that will be a very, very good fight. It's the fight that should have happened in the first place. And now that Andrade's had 2 tune-up fights, this will be the chance now to really see who is the best out of those two. And Billy Joe Saunders is one of the top middleweights in the world, being avoided for way too long. And this is the chance for these two fighters to really see who is going to be the one up next. So I believe that whoever wins out of these two will be the next up to be fighting either the winner of Canelo or Triple G. So we can do it like a little tournament. You could do it like Andrade versus Triple G or Billy Joe Saunders. Then you've got Jacobs versus Canelo. And then the winner out of those two will fight each other in Cinco de Mayo in 2020. I mean, that's like a DAZN Super Series right there. What do you guys think of that? Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of like a middleweight Super Series. You know, they pretty much got all the best middleweights in the world in there. And as for like Charlo's, the Charlo, you know, he's out of the picture right now. He's on PBC. He's out of the picture. You know, I know there's fans of Charlo out there. I'm a fan of Jamal Charlo, and I think that personally, if I was him and I had ambition to become a world champion, you've got no choice but to go onto DAZN. You've got no other choice but to go onto DAZN if you want to get a belt, because all the belts are there and they're not going anywhere soon. They got the best middleweights in DAZN right now, and it's going to be difficult for you to get a title shot, even though you're WBC mandatory, to get those fights that you want. So Charlo so far is out of the picture, unfortunately. But I really want him in the picture because it will make it even more exciting. I think he's really good and I think he's really talented. Even though he didn't show his best in his last fight. So, anyways, I'm keeping this nice and sweet. This is my opinions on what's going on right now in the boxing world. If I was to predict what Andrade's next fight will be, I think it will be against Billy Joe Saunders, if I was to put money on it. However, the fight I really would like to see is Andrade versus Triple G. That would be a very, very good fight, and then you could really see how Andrade is against a killer like Triple G. Then we can see properly whether Andrade is the real deal or not the real deal. Yeah? So anyways, that's all I'm going to do for today. Thanks very much for listening. I might do another show later on about Dillian Whyte and about the heavyweight division, what's going on right now. So I'll keep you tuned on my social media. If you're watching this for the first time, then hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button if you're watching this for the first time. All my boxing news is on all my social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So keep tuned on that. And hey, guys in the chat, thanks Linda Morris from New York City for tuning in. I think it's the first time you've tuned in. And thanks to everybody who's going to be watching. If anything you want me to say, you want me to talk about, let me know, and I'm going to talk about it.